Hi, Sarah here. I am going to do a video today on how to prepare for earthquakes. I'm not from California, so one of my biggest and greatest fears moving here was going through an earthquake. I've been through a couple now. None of them have been big or bad or scary. I live in North California, so we've had it fairly easy. So I have a couple different kits. I have kits in my car, I have kits in my house. And today I'm just going to go over my car kit because I feel like it's the most important. I'm in my car more than anything else. I'm driving to my son. I'm driving to work. I'm driving home. I'm driving to get groceries. So if an earthquake hits, I'm probably going to be in my car. I probably won't be at home. So I have this bin. It's a 27 quarts. It has a lid and everything, and I just keep this in the back of my car. My car is not huge, but it holds this. And the thought is, if I get stuck somewhere, I'm going to have everything I need and long enough to either get my husband to come and get me or for the roads to clear up enough that I can go somewhere. So I'll be okay for a few days. I even keep a case of water in my car, a 24-pack of the Arrowhead or Crystal Geyser water, and that's separate to this. One of the things I want to mention is if you have a kit in your car with food and stuff, like I do, make sure you check the expiration dates on here so that you don't have expired food when you actually go to use it. I try to rotate mine out every 3 months because I do have a young child that's incredibly picky. So I want to make sure he has stuff that he'll eat that will keep him satisfied. And I don't have in here, but in my car, I do have a lot of like toys and emergency, like my kid is going crazy supplies, because I'm assuming that I will either have my son or I will be needing to get my son very soon. So I keep that in mind. So some things I keep in here are gloves that have protection, these so that I can actually do like hard work. So if I'm driving somewhere and God forbid like a tree falls in front of my car, or debris or whatever, I can get out and use my gloves and pick them up. I actually have 2 pairs in case my husband is with me. He can help and he won't hurt his hands. And I try to make sure that they're good work gloves that aren't just going to poke through with little thorns and whatnot. Then in here I have just some, I wouldn't call it like emergency supplies, but just some basic hygiene stuff. Some wet wipes in case, little kids get dirty. These I got at a Japanese dollar store. They're compressed towels, so you do need water to uncompress them, I believe. But they're very easy to store, very easy to carry. Each one is individually packed, and they were only $1.50, so that's awesome. And then I have a little brush with a mirror. The reason I have the mirror is twofold. One, I can look at myself if I need to, but I can also use the mirror in an emergency situation should I need to create fire or reflect light, to send an SOS, anything like that. So this can be more handy than just brushing my hair or looking at myself in the mirror. I live in Northern California. One of our threats that we have is wildfires. I realize that, so I keep N95 mask in my emergency kits. These are 3M N95 masks. They're not the cheap masks. These are good ones, good quality. And I keep enough for my family, only my family. So I do keep those in my emergency kit. I do not have the first aid kit I would really like to have. I do have first responder training, and ideally I should have a first responder kit, but I don't. So I just keep, my basic first aid supplies in here. So I have Band-Aids, antiseptic wipes, wraps, gloves, ointments, alcohol prep. And some of these things can be used if you have an emergency. Alcohol prep can be used for fuel. So it's not just somebody gets hurt. These have alternative uses should you need to use them. I have little toothbrush kits. This one happens to be for a kid to make it more fun. So he's not so upset or scared. He's probably already having a bad day if he's stuck in my car using a toothbrush because we can't get home. So are these highly important? No. But will they, help us with good hygiene? Absolutely. And these can be used for other things that I have. The bags can be used. If we need to clean something, the brushes can be used. So they do have alternative uses. But hopefully we don't get stuck somewhere and we don't need them. But if we do, we have them. Another important thing I have is a charger. And I do actually charge this regularly. You can see it's charged up right now. This one is solar, which is why I leave it in my car. So if I'm out somewhere, I don't have electricity, my car battery is dead, my car battery is injured, like say a tree fell on my car and I can't use it anymore, I can still charge and get my tablets and my phone and whatever else I need charged with this. This has multiple ports, so I can charge more than one device at a time. It will keep a charge for 3 to 5 days on the device that you're charging. So you'll get 4 or 5 charges out before you need to completely recharge this. If it goes completely dead, realize, and this is true for all solar chargers, it will only charge 50% by the sun. It will never ever charge 100% by the sun. So if you have one of these and it goes completely dead, go home, charge it at home. Charge it with your car battery, but it will not completely charge by the sun. Other things I have in here are tissues, which can be used for so many different things. Runny noses, bloody noses, crying, anything that you can really think of, it can be used for. So tissues I have in there. I also have this light. This light, I want to say I got at Japanese dollar store again, $1.50. It is incredibly bright. It has 3 settings. And my ideal is if we're stuck somewhere, I can at least hang this up in my car and have a little bit of light to either reassure my son or to read myself or do anything I need to at night. So that is in there. Another thing I have in here is a Ready America Deluxe Water Bottle Survivor Kit. My husband got this, and I put it in here because it has a couple things. It has a whistle, it's got glow sticks in it, it's got ponchos, it's got emergency food bars, glow sticks, water purification, tablets, a survival blanket, a carabiner clip right here, and then I can use the bottle itself should I need to. So I have that in there just as an extra on top of what I already have. I do keep a compass in my car. Know how to use a compass, how to read a compass correctly if you have one. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck on the side of the road and you're going to have no clue what to do. They do come with directions, but learn how to use it first so that when you're in an emergency, you're not trying to figure out something very important like how to use a compass. And that may be your only way to get yourself home. So know what direction you live in, where you're going, what you might need. So should you need to use that compass, you know how. And let's see. Oh, this is a military grade one. I want to say we got it from the Army surplus store. My husband is the one who picked it out, so I don't know too much about compasses, but I do know how to use it, and I have it in case I need it. So I have two different types of food. I have emergency food rations. These are good until 2022. So I have these. They're 2,400 calories. So you can eat these, I want to say they're for like 3 days or something like that. I don't recall correctly. But you can eat these should you need to. I've had them before during Hurricane Katrina, and they're nasty, and I don't like them. But in an emergency situation, if I need the energy, I need to survive, I can stomach them, and I will. So I have them in here, just in case, because I don't know. Another thing I keep in here, I actually have 3 of these, because there's 3 of us. I also try to keep kid-friendly stuff because I'm figuring, okay, my son is already having a bad day. He's probably already scared. The earth is already shaking on him. So I try to do things that are just going to bring him a little comfort. So some little Paw Patrol tissues, so if he's crying or he's upset and needs to blow his nose, you know, it's not a lot I can do to comfort him, but it's something just to make his day a little bit easier. So I have lots of different crackers, animal crackers, because I know my son will eat those. These are just some Townhouse crackers because I know I'll eat those. To be honest, I never give Pop-Tarts in our house ever, but I have these if we need a snack, we need some energy. It's got sugar in it, so if we need to keep our blood sugar up, this is going to help us. Is there any nutritional value to it? Absolutely not. But if I need something to get our blood sugar up, it's there. Because I live in Northern California, it can get cold here. It can get very cold here. It's not Colorado cold. Grew up there. It's not that cold. But it is cold. So I have these body warmers. These can be put on your hands and your feet and in your pockets, and they can help keep you warm. So if you're in a situation where hypothermia is a possibility, or you're going to have some cold nights ahead of you, grab some of these. These supposedly work up to 8 hours. I got them at our Japanese dollar store. They were $1.50 a piece. You can buy these all over the creation. Walmart carries them. They're not expensive. They're an easy supply that you can pick up. Other things I brought is can opener. You never know when you might need a can opener or a bottle opener. I actually do have emergency food in here, so I might need this. I also brought measuring cups and measuring spoons and something to cook with. So those might all seem crazy. I'm in my car, but then I brought some things that can help keep us satiated for long enough till we get home. So I have cream of wheat and oatmeal in here. They're my family's favorites. Oats and grains are going to keep you full for a long time, and they're going to give you that energy and that you need so that you can be okay and not be like all hangry. Other things, I have soup. Okay, canned soup. I have canned beans. Really, canned beans. I have canned beans in here. I also have emergency silverware. Fork, spoon, knife. I have a couple of these. It even has a corkscrew opener. So, should we get stuck, we need to eat, I have food. We can eat it with this. And remember, I have a small child in mind, so my planning is planned around him, to keep him full and satiated so that he's okay long enough for us to get home, or to wherever our bug out location might be. depending on the circumstances. I also have brand new USB cables that work. Tested them out already. I keep them in the protective bags. So I have these in case my car charger broke, something happened. I have 2 of them just in case they're my emergencies. I also have emergency little bags. These are doggy bags. You can buy them at the dollar store. You can buy them anywhere. They're cheap. They're great for dirty diapers. They're great for throwing up. They're great for trash. So I have just a small little thing just in case we need it. You never know. Another thing I keep in here, emergency trash bags. These are great because I can use them to keep us dry. I can use them for trash, throw up, dirty diapers, anything that we might really encounter. Cookies, because I stress eat. So they're good cookies. Make sure you change them out before they expire. Otherwise they can be kind of nasty and dry and stale. But I always put some sort of treat in there because I'm already going to be stressed out. And I like to eat when I'm stressed out. So I try to put things in there that I'll eat. Let's see what else I have in here. I do have a CPR micro shield. Should I need to give CPR, I am certified as a healthcare worker. So I have advanced training on how to give CPR, and I have a mask. I have gloves in here. This is so wherever I'm at, whether it's me, my family, or somebody I encounter along the way, I need to give them CPR. I have this, I have access to this, and I can give them CPR and keep myself safe at the same time. I have nuts. Nuts have protein. It's one of the few protein sources that you can keep, that will keep for a long time. So I put nuts in here just in case I need them. Other things I've kept in here, lighter and matches. I actually keep these in a plastic bag, so should something spill in this, these are still going to be safe and dry and not wet. And I have them in case I need them. Now, as you saw, I have soup and all these things. You're probably thinking, how am I going to warm it up? How am I going to cook it? And the answer is I have this. This is a Stanley cup. So wherever I'm at, I can create a fire. I have enough stuff in here to create a fire with. Like I have cardboard. I can use any of that cardboard to start a fire. And I can cook in this. I also have cups that I can use in this. It's very, very small. It's very handy. These are not expensive. You can buy them, I want to say at Walmart for like 16 bucks. So I have this so that I can cook that soup and those beans that you saw. I even have SpaghettiOs, again, you know, just to try to give my son a little comfort. This is something fun that he might eat. So he has that in case he becomes adventurous and wants to eat it. And, you know, I do have a way to heat it up. I also have scissors. These are good scissors. They're cheap, but they're good and they work. I want to say I got them at Harbor Freight. They're more industrial. They'll cut through a lot of stuff, but I have them in case I need to cut anything, rope or whatever. So those are in there should I need them. I also have some Carmex. This can be used for multiple things. It's great for your lips if you're going to get sunburned because you're in the sun. But it can also be used to like help you start fires or keep a candle going. There's a lot of different uses for this. I have some more nuts and pistachios just if you need some quick energy. I have that. Another thing I keep in here, and my husband got this for me, it's a Swiss Army knife. It's got all those little doodads in here. So should I need something on here, little tools or whatever, I have it. Another thing, and my husband does make fun of me for this, but I have an emergency sewing kit. And when I say it's a kit, it is a kit. So I've got needles out the wazoo, I've got pins, I've got scissors in here, I've got crochet needles, I have a magnifying glass, okay? I have safety pins, I have a thimble, I have a measuring tape, I have a bunch of different thread. So this might seem ridiculous, but number one, if I get stuck and I need fire and all of my equipment for some reason fails, I can use a magnifying glass, okay? If I'm somewhere and somebody gets hurt, I can sew them together if I have to. If it's that bad of a situation that we need to like get the wound, sealed up as immediately as possible until we could get to an emergency situation, as much as this would suck, I have it available. I've looked into buying suturing kits, and I just haven't gotten around to that yet because it's expensive. And so at least I have something. I actually got this because one day I was going somewhere and a button fell off, and I needed something to sew, and I couldn't find anything. So even for something nominal, like a button falling off your clothes, you at least can sew it back on. So I do keep a sewing kit in here, and it's little. I do also keep Nutrigrain bars in here. My son happens to love these, and he'll eat them. So they're there just if we need some food or some energy, just until we can get, home or where we're going. Another thing I keep are dried cranberries. I don't really like raisins, but I just absolutely love dried cranberries. So I keep dried cranberries in here. They don't really have any kind of protein or not even really much fiber, but they do have sugar. They have a lot of sugar. So if you need the sugar to get your energy up and to get you to where you need to be, you can have these. This little pack I got at the dollar store. So they're good to have. You just need to make sure when you keep food in your car that you're checking the expiration dates and that you're rotating regularly. That's very important because you don't want to get into an emergency situation and everything that you have in your emergency kit is expired. I also have these ponchos. I only have 2 in here, and the thought is if my husband needs one, he can get wet. But me and my son will be dry. And I do have trash bags, so I can use this as a poncho too for my husband. So he's totally willing to suffer for our son. He's okay with that. I also have these boogie wipes. They're wet wipes, so if your son or your little one, they're just saline wipes, has like a runny nose, you can use them. Because they are saline wipes, you can also use them to clean wounds and different things like that. So they can have multiple uses. Another thing, and I think it's the last thing, I have more nuts. The last thing I keep in here is toilet paper. So in case we need to use the restroom and we can't get home for a long time, we have that. So things that you probably noticed I didn't have would be like a flashlight or a lantern. And that's because in my car, I actually have a compartment where I keep a full lantern in my car. And I do have this, should I need it. And it takes 3 AAA batteries. I do have extra batteries in my car because I work in my car a lot. So, back in there. Because I do work out of my car a lot when I go and see different patients, I always have spare batteries with me in case I need them for my patients. So that is something I do keep with me for work, and it's always in my car. Is that in right? Okay, I'll figure it out later. So that is everything I keep in my emergency kit. So the things that are not, oh yeah, one more thing. Instant coffee. I don't drink coffee. Not a fan. Don't like it at all. My husband drinks coffee. If I need the energy or the caffeine, then I have it. Um, but I'm not a huge, I'm going to drink coffee kind of person, but my husband is. So I do want him to at least have it. So should we be stuck somewhere and we need energy, we need to stay awake, we have a kid, we have that available to us, and we aren't going to sit there and struggle because we don't have any energy, we need some caffeine, and we're also not going to have a headache because we need energy and caffeine. So that's everything I keep in my emergency kit. Is this kit complete? Absolutely not. This kit is enough to get me home. Like I said, I keep a case of water in my car. I have a toolbox in my car. In my toolbox, I have every tool that is needed to work on my car. Well, not every, but I have a good, decent kit. I also have rope in there, those bungee cords, and then, like I said, there's a spot in my car I keep a full-on lantern, and I keep extra batteries in my car. Another thing that you don't see pictured here, and these are things that I keep in my car because I have another bin. I have a Mexican blanket and a wool blanket to keep us warm at night. I have camping pillows that I keep in my car, with the ideal that if we get stuck and we're going to have to sleep overnight in our car, at least my son is comfortable. I can make him a little bit of a bed. And then I also keep a backpack. In the backpack, it's really, honestly, it's made for my son. So the backpack has markers because wax crayons will melt in the heat. I also have coloring books, drawing pads. I have new toys that have never been opened or seen that he'll be very interested in, that are things that he likes. I have stickers in there, and then I have emergency clothes, not only for him, but for me and my husband as well. And then I keep one separate empty backpack. That empty backpack is, should I need to take this stuff and go on foot, I can start walking on foot and fill that backpack up with everything that I need that I can hold to get us home if I have to walk home for us. Because realistically, it would be really hard to carry this and leave my car, but this has so much of what I need. So I got some cheap backpacks that I found on sale at, I want to say Walmart. If you look at Walmart, even Target, because they have some great stuff, back to school time. Wait until back to school time is over. They put everything they don't sell on clearance. Get your stuff then. So I bought all that stuff with the ideal that I can just grab it, pick my son up, and we can go. My son is old enough now that he would be able to walk with us, and it wouldn't be that much of an issue. And again, I keep a case of water in my car, and I keep light in my car. I keep blankets in my car, and I keep the camping pillows that you just compress into a bag. Those are all kept in my car. Because of the work that I do, I happen to have a lot of toys in my car and things that will comfort my son. And they come in handy, not just when I have an emergency, but if we're going somewhere and he's bored, I can say, oh yeah, I have a toy in my car, I can go and get it for him. So this is my basic emergency supplies. I add to our supplies every month. I go through this thing every month, and I add new things that I think I need. I've actually, going through this today, I can think of things that I do need in here, and I actually do need to change out some of the food. So I'm going to go through and readjust and change out the food, and add a few more things in to accommodate our growing family. Things that you might want to think about if you have young children: diapers, formula, things of that nature. If you're breastfeeding, under stress, your supplies might go down. So you might want to have emergency formula just in case you need it. And those are things that are going to be important. Emergency diapers, emergency wipes. When my son was in diapers, I kept all that in the car. When my son was bottle feeding, I kept all that in the car, even though I did breastfeed. I wanted to make sure that we had formula in case he needs it. And those are little things that are comfort items that can be really soothing to a child, when they're in distress, when you're in distress. And these are things that, you know, they might not seem that important, but if I'm stuck somewhere and that's all I have, this is going to keep me alive. It's going to keep my son alive. And it's also going to help me not stress so much, because if I stress, my son is going to stress, and he's going to see that. And then once you start getting stressed, your physiological response that you have, you just stop thinking as clearly. You can't make decisions. You can't do what you actually need to do to be productive for your family. So if that's the situation, do everything you need to do to be prepared so that you can be of sound mind and clear thought when you're in that emergency situation and you know what to do. Make sure you have those emergency supplies so that you're not, oh my goodness, I'm stuck on the middle of the road, all the trees have fallen, I can't get here, it's going to be a while before I get home. My experiences that I've drawn on, I've lived through blizzards that have snowed in our house. I've had tornadoes destroy my house. And I've gone through Hurricane Katrina, and we were without power for quite a while, without drinkable, potable water for quite a while. So I've taken all those experiences, and I've been like, okay, we need to be prepared. I don't know what might happen in California. I don't know if I'm leaving because there's a wildfire. I don't know if I'm leaving because there's a tsunami coming. I live in a tsunami zone. I realize this. I live in a liquefaction zone. I realize this, and we do have emergency plans for our family based on those. So I try to keep all that in mind when I'm making my kit. And like I said, this kit is not complete. There's so much more that could be added to it, but it is enough to keep me alive for 72 hours, until I can try to get ourselves help or I can walk home. And I do keep those extra things that I haven't pictured here in my car: backpacks, clothes, things of that nature. My son, he's potty trained. He's in school already, but he is at the age where he just got potty trained. So things like, I keep several pairs of extra underwear in there because I have a feeling that if something happened, he might have an accident. I keep an emergency little portable potty for him in the back of my trunk. So should he need to go to the bathroom while we have an emergency, I do have that. And it actually has liners for bags, for anything, so that we can dispose of any kind of waste that way as well. So that's for him. It won't take care of us. One of the things that's on my list is for a female is one of those little camping funnels so that you can pee. So that might make it easier for me. I've never used one. I hope I really never have to use one. But I do actually have that on my list as one of those things I want to buy. It's a little bit more expensive. It's like $20 or something. So it's one of those things I haven't gotten yet. Another thing I've noticed with emergency supplies, a lot of people will tell you, oh, go to the dollar store and buy everything. Don't go to the dollar store and buy everything. Don't buy don't buy duct tape for emergency. No. Get your duct tape, spend some money on it. Go get the Gorilla duct tape. Go get the actual duct tape. Don't get dollar store brand duct tape. There's so many dollar store things do not get. And the reason I tell you this, and the reason I say this, is because when I first started camping, we actually did a lot of dollar store supplies, and we found out that they didn't work that well. Hold on one second. Maggie, stop! Sorry about that. But, my husband, we went camping, and I had dollar store duct tape, and we had to tape his shoe because somehow, I don't know, the bottom of it came off while we were camping. And we taped his shoe up, and within a matter of minutes, that duct tape had kept coming off. And I discovered right then and there, dollar store duct tape is not going to cut it. We bought a flashlight, and the light on it died before the batteries. So that really didn't give us what we needed. So it's better to spend a little money at a time, get decent supplies, get good flashlights, get good duct tape, get decent scissors, because the dollar scissors, they're just going to break. You're not going to really be able to cut something all that useful with it. I have nothing against the dollar store supplies. Actually, a lot of the food I got from the dollar store, so I didn't have to spend a lot of money. Even the toothbrush kits, I got these from the dollar store. I have nothing against dollar store stuff. These I got from the dollar store. But there are some pieces of equipment, flashlights, lighters, matches, things like that you just don't want to get from the dollar store, because you want to have quality supplies that you're just going to work during your emergency. Because the worst thing that's going to happen is if you need duct tape and that duct tape doesn't work. It doesn't stick. It's so sticky you can't even get it off the roll. You're going to need things that work. And that's, I've taken a lot of that experience that I've had and those experiences I've gone through, and I'll tell you, it's worth spending a little extra money to get good equipment. So that's all I want to tell you. That's my emergency car kit. Should you have any questions, please feel free to make comments below. I'll be happy to answer any of them. And in the next coming weeks, I'll put together another video of what I keep in my house to keep us ready and keep us prepared for an earthquake, because as so many people say, don't be scared, be prepared. We're prepared. Bye. Have a good one.